Hello everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. Today we will be looking at Pascal programming. Alright, so our last tutorial we looked at the data dictionary and we looked at the pseudocode for this Pascal programming. So I would advise you to look at the pseudocode first to have an understanding of exactly what was discussed and the question in which we are writing this tutorial from. To watch that tutorial, please click on the link at the top right hand corner. And also for the data dictionary for this Pascal programming, click on the link at the top right hand corner. Alright, so here we go. So we got a question to write a Pascal program, right? To add some students, right? To view the students added, to view a summary data, and to also to exit, right? It was a menu option. The algorithm should have been able to do all of that, and we should be able to add the student ID, their first name, middle name, last name, the total amount of subjects that they're doing, the total number of oral subjects and practical subjects, the total subject fee, right, and the total amount of fees in total that they would actually pay, and whether or not those students will be qualified for scholarship or not. Now I'm using Dev Pascal as my compiler, right, because we will be compiling this program to make sure that it meets all the necessary requirements that is needed from the question. Now, in a program, please remember that it is very imperative, it is important, right, that you have comments. Comments are there as documentation so that other persons who are looking at your source code will understand what exactly is happening there. Alright, now let's go. So the programmer is myself, and this was written a very long time ago. The purpose of the program, whatever changes that will be made to it, it needs to be recorded, and the date in which these changes were made, right? And you give the program a name, CSEC registration. Alright, and we use a CRT, a clear screen, for this program. Then we're going to declare our constants first, and now remember that constants are declared before variables, and I said this in my pseudocode tutorial, right? So that's the reason why the constants are there. Now, if you want to understand what reg fee is, click on the tutorial that tells you about data dictionary. Alright, or you can typically put a comment there, right? Registration fee for each subject, right? You can add your comments there, right? Remember that comments are very important. So the constant that I have is registration fee, subject fee, practical fee, oral fee. And remember, these values that are assigned to these constant names are values that does not change. That means wherever within the program you see reg fee, subject fee, practical fee, or oral underscore fee, all of those are the same values that they are at, that you're looking at right now. Right? So everywhere you see reg fee, it will be $2,500. Subject fee, $3,500. Practical fee, $1,500. Oral fee, $1,000. Now that we have declared our constants, right, we're going to move to our variables. And please remember that every single line of program that you write, you should have your semicolon there. If you realize my semicolon is here, it is after every one of these, right? It is here, 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 and here. It's very important because these little small things will not allow your program to, one, not run at all, or two, right, it runs and compiles, but the information that it is executing is incorrect, and you do not want to do that. However, a debug should always be done on a program where you go through and you check to see what the error is if you get an error, and you change it. Alright? So moving on to variables. And in Pascal, you identify your variables with var. Right? And I'm not talking var that is in football. Alright, so these are the variables. Subjects, practicals, orals. And they go into an array. And the size of the array that is used is 30 because we are storing information about 30 different students. Right? In the pseudocode we had as size 30, but in Pascal you're going to have a square bracket. We have one dot dot or two full stops and the largest amount of variables you want to store in that array. For this one, it is 30. Only use two dots. Don't use 3 or 1. 2 dots. Right? We need to follow the syntax of Pascal. Right? So those arrays are integers. We move on to the other variables. Student ID, first name, middle name, last name, those are 30 as well. They are string. Registration, sub fee, practical fee, oral fee, all those arrays are 30 with the necessary data type there. Right? In the pseudocode, sponsorship was character. In this, it is char. Same thing. The only difference is that we do not write out the word character. Alright? And then you have count, choice, print, sponsor underscore count, and integer as the data type, and the total collected as real. All of those, as you can see, has a semicolon at the end of it. It is important that you do that. Then we begin. In Pascal, we write begin. We do not write start. Start is for pseudocode. Prefix pseudo means fake. So pseudocode is a fake code. It cannot be compiled. You'd have to change it or convert it into a specific programming language. And for this tutorial, it would be a Pascal. Alright, so let's begin. Count is declared or initialized, I should say, as 0, because that variable will be counting how many students is added each time the user adds a student. Choice initialized as 0 because the user is given 4 choices, and depending on which choice they choose, a different execution is done. Print, right? It is initialized as 0 so that every time a student information is printed, it monitors it. So if it is 1, it goes up to 1. If it is 2, if it is 3, if it is 4, and so forth, right up to 30. And total collected, right? Total amount of money collected, it is initialized as 0. Oh, and sponsor count. How many students will actually receive sponsorship out of the 30 at the end when everybody is added. Then we have a repeat loop. Alright. So all of this is repeat. Alright. So this is the start of the first loop. Right? And as you can see, you have right line. And remember, right and right line are all output statements. Please remember that right and right line are output statements. Now, what's the difference between right and right line? The difference is that when you use right line, right, the cursor will be at the next line when the statement is viewed or is shown, right? So the cursor will appear beneath the line in which the statement will be shown. So for example, I have right line Future Leaders High School, right? The cursor will end up beneath future, right? It will not be in the same line as Future Leaders High School. Simple put, when you're typing and you press enter and the cursor goes to a different line, that is exactly what right line does, right? And because we're doing a list of things and we want it in vertical order, we use right line, right? So everything that is in the right line section is displayed on the screen. Let us make use of the color coding. Or if you realize all the comments are in blue, is it blue? Yes. Or it is purple. Purple, yes, purple. And all the numbers are in blue, and all the statements within the right line are in red. So you can use those to understand and differentiate between what is what. Alright? So we're going to have Future Leaders High School will be displayed CSEC registration system, main menu, because the algorithm in the question says that we need to have the option to add students, view summary, and exit. So those need to be displayed, and as you can see, we have all 4 options there. Press 1 to enter a student, press 2 to view all students, press 3 to view summary, press 4 to exit. Alright? Good. Read line will store the choice selected by the user, whether 1, 2, 3, or 4. Right? Now, this is typically the same thing as relates to the explanation as mentioned in the pseudocode. Please watch that tutorial. It's on the top right hand corner. The link is there. If choice 1, we're using an if then, right? Then this will be executed. All the different output statements will be there to allow the user to add the students' informations. And there will be an input statement after every output statement to store the information that is added. Alright? And that's the reason why you have readline SID, which is to store the student's ID number entered by the user. Alright? Let me repeat myself, a semicolon is there after every line. Please make note. Moving on. When we move to an assignment statement now, where reg fee, which is, it is up here, $2,500. Reg fee, which is $2,500, right? This year we'd have to pay that, because that is the registration. And count is there, right, to make sure that this is the first student. And adds, because count is +1 because it was initialized as 0. Alright, subject fee, whatever the calculation is over this section, will be added to that section, will be assigned to that. Remember this, in an assignment statement, whatever is done on the right is assigned to what is on the left. Whatever is done on the right is assigned to what is done on the left. Alright, moving on. After we have finished with the first option, right, the algorithm also wants us to display how many students got a scholarship. And the requirement for the scholarship is 8 or more subjects. So as of such, we need to put something in there which will be used to calculate which student got 8 or did 8 or more subjects. And we have a if then there, where if subjects, right, is 8 or more, then the sponsor would be Y, which means yes. And if it is yes, then that student will be added to the sponsor count, which will tell how many students will receive scholarship. And if they are not doing 8 or more subjects, right, then it will be an N, which stands for no. And the count will be added because we want to know how many students it is. Because remember that the array size is 30. So it's going to count from 1 until you reach 30. It's going to stop. When you're adding, that is. The size cannot hold any more than 30 because that's what we set it to. So whoever is added, whoever the user is or whoever they are adding, they can only add 30 students at max. Alright? Alright, moving on. After all of that is done, student information entered, press enter to continue. That is displayed right here. Right? Good. And then you end read line, and then you end, which is this part you're ending. Alright? This ended that. So this end and everything here, right back to the top. Then we go to option 2. What option 2 typically will be doing here in the program is to pull all the information that was entered in choice 1, right? Every information entered in choice 1, what choice 2 is typically doing is to show it, right? Everything that was entered is going to typically show it. As you can see, student ID, SID, print. F name, which was at the top, print. L name, print. M name, print. All of those. Alright? And then this ends, which ends the loop. Alright? And end of registration, end of registered students. Press enter to continue. Then you have choice 3. Right? Which is to show a summary of everything. So it shows you how many was collected, right, and the number of students who would have received a scholarship, right. And the option of the choice 4 would be to end the program or to exit the program. So that's typically it for it. It is not a long program, and to have a better understanding of exactly in details, the pseudocode tutorial is best. Alright, we are going to run this program. We're going to compile it. Alright, so compile and run project. Let's go. Before I move to that, total errors 0. Alright, good. Here is our program. I hope everybody can see this. Here you go, Future Leaders High School, CSEC registration system, main menu. Now, this right here that you're looking at, alright, let me scroll down. Look over this side, right line, Future Leaders High School, CSEC registration system, main menu. It is displayed here because right and right line is an output statement. It shows whatever whatever is in that bracket and quotation will be shown on the screen, right? And just to make it look more user-friendly, I place a line there to separate the title from the menu options. Alright, so there we go. Press 1 to enter a student. Please, from here to here, look. Right, it is executing. It is showing us all these output statements. Right line, right here, prints a blank line. That's my blank line. And then I have enter option. Right, so depending on the choice I choose, that read line here will store whatever option I choose. So let us use option 1 because we have not added anybody. We have not added any student as yet. Press enter to add. So let us enter student's ID number 1, 2, 3, 4 using 4 numbers. Press enter. Enter the student first name, Sir. Last name, Smikle. Middle name, E-Tech Jamaica. Good. Enter total subjects. I am doing 10 subjects. Enter total practicals. I am doing 2 practicals. Number of orals, 0. Not doing any orals. Student information entered. Press enter to continue. Good. Let me scroll up for you. So what just happened a while ago was choice 1, right? And we are here. I hope everybody can see my cursor. Right? Student information enter. Press enter to continue. That's where we are. So every single thing from here to the top was already done. Now, when it asks me how to enter total subjects and I place 10, right? That information is already stored. And right here that says if subjects count greater than or equal to 8, then begin. The program already register whether it is a Y or N for me because of the amount of subjects I actually placed already. Alright, let us press enter to continue. Good. We are back to the menu, right? Because I've entered a student already. So let us view all students. Option 2. Enter. Student ID 1234. Name Sir Smikle, E-Tech Jamaica. Subjects 10. Practical 2. Orals 0. Fees $40,500. Sponsor yes. And it's a sponsor yes because I am doing 10 subjects. Because 10 is greater than 8. Alright. End of registered students. Press enter to continue. I am back to my main menu. Right. Let us use option 3. 3. View summary. Total collected 40,500. Total number of students sponsored 1. Because of course I only added 1 person just to show you that the program is running and is executing. Alright, enter and press 4 to exit. 4 and I exit my program. Alright, now this is the end of this tutorial. I hope you learned something. Right, I hope you understand exactly what was done. Any question you can put it in the comment section. Please remember to like, share and subscribe for more content like these and more tutorials like these. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy!